spider never chases its prey. It waits. It builds transparent threads, almost invisible until something distracted touches them. And when that happens, there is no way out. The internet is that spider, and you are already caught. The infinite scroll is the glue. Notifications are the buzzing that lures you like flies. Every click is another thread tightening around you. You believe you are in control, but you are already moving inside the perfect geometry of an invisible prison. The web has no smell, no color, but it drains something more precious than money: time. And every minute it sucks away disappears into invisible coins, drained energy, unfinished projects, salaries that never grow, opportunities that evaporate without witness. As you scroll, banknotes burn in silence. You don't hear the crackle of flames, but you feel it in the emptiness at the end of the day. The freedom that seemed to be in your hands is only illusion. And the uncomfortable truth is this: you don't risk falling into the digital trap. You are already inside it. The next step seems obvious: to resist, to fight the excess. But what if the way out is not to fight? What if the counterintuitive is the only path to escape? Close your eyes for 5 seconds and imagine a clock burning bills of money with every click. From early on, we were trained to believe that the internet is freedom, that every click is a choice, that every feed is a mirror of our desires. But what you call choice is only the most efficient path someone designed to capture your attention. The design is not innocent. It was made to addict, not to serve. Notification sounds were built as lab triggers. Each vibration fires a discharge in the brain. The red button is not just color, it is bait. The infinite feed is not a glitch, it is a trap. These invisible architectures teach the mind that it must look again and again and again. You think you are the navigator, but you are a passenger. The algorithm holds the wheel. And the price is not just a delayed project. Each distraction costs a version of you that never came to life. An unwritten idea, a sale that never happened, a conversation that could have changed the course of your life. Hours of focus evaporate like smoke, turning into emotional and financial debt. The time that could have been invested in something solid is drained in exchange for nothing. You don't just lose productivity, you lose entire futures. And here lies the cruelest blow. Even your rebellion was predicted. The system knows when you get tired, knows when you'll return, knows when you'll give in. But what if the real enemy is not the algorithm? What if it is the part of you that has already learned to obey? Today, turn off all notifications for 30 seconds and feel the strange silence that emerges. That emptiness is your first shock of real freedom. There is a you who wakes up determined to produce, to build, to move forward. He sits at the desk, opens the computer, prepares the battlefield of focus. But there is another you, hidden in the shadows, pulling invisible chains toward the phone. This second self doesn't want to create, only to consume, doesn't want to advance, only to numb itself. And so what seemed like a simple distraction becomes a silent civil war inside your mind. The productive self holds a pen. The distracted self holds the endless screen. The sound of a notification is like a warning shot. The feed is a trench. Each click, a bullet fired against your own discipline. The heart beats like a split battery, half powering your projects, half drained by the glow of the screen. You feel the division, half creator, half prisoner. This division is no accident. It was programmed. You learned early to obey, to seek instant pleasure, to believe each click was a reward. But this obedience has a brutal cost. Salaries that never rise because you don't finish what you start. Businesses that don't prosper because your attention is fragmented. Dreams that rot because they never receive enough time to be born. The enemy is not only the algorithm, It is the invisible pact your own mind signed, trading greatness for immediate relief. And here comes the final blow. You believe you lack discipline, but it isn't discipline, it is self-sabotage. What if the system's greatest weapon isn't the algorithm, but the part of you that has learned to trip yourself? You believe you are free because you can post, comment, share. But this isn't freedom, it's a showcase. The bars of your cell are not made of iron. They are made of likes, hearts, and notifications. You think you hold the key, but each notification adds another bar. What you call expression is in truth programmed exhibition. The ego swells with digital hearts, but it deflates minutes later, and the emptiness is the same one that drove you to seek attention in the first place. Consumption disguises itself as connection. You don't just buy clothes or useless courses, you buy validation. You pay with your credit card, and with something far more expensive, your identity. Every time you bend to fit into the algorithm, a part of who you really are disappears. This false freedom has a high price. Comfort purchases, impulsive expenses, useless discussions that steal hours. All of this drains not only your money, but your vital energy. The system sells emptiness wrapped in glitter, and you pay believing it is fulfillment. And here is the uncomfortable truth. You believe you are choosing, but in fact, you are being chosen. Without rupture, you don't just pay in money, you pay with life, wasted in clicks. Until now, you believed the fight was against the algorithm, against the screen, against the digital world that traps you. But the real prison is not outside. It is inside. The algorithm only lit the flame of what already existed. Your mind trained to obey. Rupture begins when you understand it's not about resisting the system, but about reprogramming yourself. And the pain must be spoken. You have already lost months to distractions that never return, already burned ideas that could have become businesses, already given hours of life in exchange for nothing. Each notification was a theft, each scroll a detour from your future. You didn't notice, but part of your biography has already been written by the algorithm, and the ink used was your time. The phrases that seem harmless hide the code. The notification doesn't just call, it conditions. The feed doesn't just distract, it trains. The ad doesn't just sell, it programs. You were not born fragmented. You were molded that way. But if you were molded, you can also be remade. The same brain that learned to give in can learn to say no. The same energy that leaks into clicks can be concentrated into creation. And here is the turning point. When you recover your attention, you recover your money. When you reclaim minutes of focus, you reclaim futures that seemed dead. Forgotten projects breathe again. Stalled businesses begin to move. What was once invisible debt becomes invisible capital. Rupture happens when you write your own code. But beware, those who resist alone break. Those who create a pact survive. And now is the moment to seal that pact, to transform rupture into real freedom. Now you know the prison was never the screen, it was the reflection inside you. The algorithm only tightened the chains your mind helped build, and every second surrendered, every empty click was an invisible tax charged from your life. Money lost, dreams frozen, energy drained. You have already paid too high a price to keep obeying in silence. But every prison can be revoked. The key is not outside, it is in you. The rupture that began must be sealed in a pact, or it dissolves like so many promises you once made and let die. This is the moment when rupture becomes freedom, when awareness becomes practice, when the future begins to be written again by you and not by the algorithm. And here is the dry truth. If you don't break now, you don't just lose money, you lose life. If you break, you rescue invisible capital, time, energy, focus, and convert it into real wealth. The system does not fear your complaint. It fears your decision. It does not fear your criticism. It fears your pact. If you made it this far, don't just write. Read the comments of those who also broke. Reply to one. Build alliance. A pact is not solitary. It is collective. This is not a solitary act. Each one who breaks ignites a spark. And when thousands do the same, an army of free minds begins here. Not tomorrow, now. Repeat out loud, I revoke the invisible pact. Then write the same phrase in the comments. This is not just a gesture, it is a public decree. It is the collective mark that you are not product. You are creator.